Whoa, wait, that's not chapstick. Hey everybody, it's Christina from Creations with Christina. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new to my channel, be sure to subscribe so you can be notified when I post new videos, and don't forget to give today's video a thumbs up. As always, a link to everything that I mentioned in today's video will be down below in the YouTube description. Today we're going to be talking about gelatos. They're by Faber-Castell and they are so much fun to play with. They are a kind of like a chapstick. They're a pigment stick, and there's a couple of different things you can do with these. Today I'm going to show you a couple of my favorite ways to use the gelatos for card making. I pulled out a couple of the gelatos that I'm going to play with today and show you a couple of techniques they can use with these. But what a gelato is, it comes in like a chapstick kind of container, and it is a pigment ink that is kind of creamy like a chapstick or a lipstick, but also dissolves with water. One of the ways that you can use them is right with your cardstock. So I have a piece of watercolor paper, and I'm just going to take my gelato and color right onto my cardstock. I'm then just going to take my finger and blend out the color. You can also use a sponge. So this is a kind of a harder sponge that came with the kit of the gelatos, and you can also use that to blend out your color as well. You can also take your gelatos and put it again right to the cardstock. And then I'm going to spray a little bit of water right on the side of my mat over here and use my watercolor pen, which has a little bit of other color in it, and use that to blend out our colors. Now my pen only has a little bit of water in it, which is why I'm using the water right from my mat. You can also take your gelato and put it right onto your craft mat and then spray water and pick up your color that way as well. I think my favorite technique is to take the color right to the paper and then using the sponge, blending it out that way. You can also take the gelato, rub it onto your paper, spray your mat just a little bit, and then dip your finger in and use your finger as your paintbrush as well. I think these will create some really fun backgrounds. I'm just going to use my heat gun to heat set this. Another fun technique is the resist technique. What I'm doing is just going to ink up a stamp with Versamark ink. I'm going to stamp out my image, and then use some white embossing powder to emboss our image. Just going to go ahead and sprinkle this on, making sure we covered our stamp really well. And then we're going to melt our embossing powder with our heat gun. Once our embossing powder has cooled off, I'm going to take a gelato and just color right over my stamped image. And then I'm going to use my sponge to blend out the color. You can also use your finger to do this. And what that's doing is pushing that color in between the embossing powder. And then what I could do is take a piece of paper towel and wipe it off, and it just pops that embossing look right back out. You can also just take another color and add some additional color to this. Again, you can use your little blender to blend that in, and then your paper towel just to wipe off the excess. So you can create some cool shading and blending of different colors. And another thing I like to do is color my paste. So I'm just going to take my gelato and rub it right onto my craft mat, and then I'm going to take a scoop of my paste, and I'm just going to scoop it right into the gelato color, and we're just going to work on blending it. Now this came out with a little bit of chunks, but the more you blend, the more it'll dissolve and work into the paste. So now that I have my paste onto my spatula, all I have to do is take my stencil and use that now to create my own little cool colored background with colors that I already have. All you have to have is a white either spackle or paste, and that will create your own custom colors of your gelatos. You can also take that same stencil and a baby wipe to use to pull up some of that gelato color, and then you can create even a different look to your background just by pulling up that color and creating a custom background. I hope you found today's video inspirational and found some fun ways to use the Faber-Castell Gelatos. On the screen you're going to find 2 more videos. The top video is my last video I posted here on YouTube, and the bottom one is one that YouTube recommends and thinks you might enjoy. Thanks everybody for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!